Welcome back to our channel. Just do a quick reminder. This channel is basically talking about addiction and various forms of addictions. And we have started with drug addiction, or with alcoholism, substance abuse. Of course, subsequent episodes will be talking of many other forms of addictions. So as we get into our third edition or our third episode, I want to remind you again that I'm here to just inspire someone, to tell someone that it's possible for them to get out of the addiction, because I went through the same, and for 17 good years in active addiction. But look, today I'm celebrating 11 years. So I just want to encourage someone out there, even in this particular episode, that despite the storms they're going through, the waves, they could be so strong and very, very heavy, but I want to remind you that it's possible for you to get out. Otherwise, welcome. Just to give you, just to have a flashback of our second episode, remember I mentioned of rebellion as now being the main reason for me now to behave this way, for me to get deep, to sink into addiction. I wanted to prove a point. I wanted to prove my dad wrong. And so I'm into this not because of influence now. I'm into drug addiction not because of anything else, but because I want to prove a point. I want to prove my dad wrong. I have become rebellious now. So while in my third high school, if you have keenly been following from our first episode, I'm in my third high school, and it's the same trend, and it gets worse and worse. While in my third school, I remember we have formed a gang of of the birds of the same feather. Like this gang of students now, I realized we had one common thing amongst us. We were indisciplined, we were doing drugs, and so we have formed a gang of around 7 to 8, 9 people. And yes, it was the best thing for me then. It was the best thing for us. So we went ahead and did our thing. We always ensured that when one of us is suspended from school, then we follow suit. Like I be the next person. Like I do the best I can to make sure that I'm suspended. I'll do anything wrong. So we become law breakers in school. We break the law, we break the system, and of course the next thing is the administration will always punish you by way of suspending you. Unfortunately, there was no mechanism of how to help these rogue students, how to do some guidance and counseling for them. The only solution for the school then was to suspend us for 2 good weeks. And so they did know that to us it was a blessing in this case, that when you're suspended, then you have all the free time, 2 good weeks, to go and do your thing, to go and do more drugs, to go and engage in many other bad things. And so it was always a trend, like we would not be suspended all at once, like the 8 of us, because it's not at all times that we would commit a crime within the school, like the entire team. So if it's me who has been found in bad books today and I'm suspended, then someone else in the group, because they want to join me now out, someone else will now find themselves bad in some bad book again tomorrow. So finally, in a week's time, we all are out, and or a good number of us are out, and so we again now continue doing this. And I remind you now that it's my home that was closest or nearest within close to my school, and the rest would go far distances. So we converted to my home, and once we converted to my home, it was very easy, because our groundsman, who he has been employed by my parents, is like taking a holiday now. When he sees me around, he's like, he doesn't care much. He takes a holiday, and so I'm left alone by myself at home, and my parents don't know about this. Yes, They are still in Mombasa. I'll just remind you, my viewer, my parents still work in Mombasa. They still are based in Mombasa. So I'm at home in the village, and so we would engage in, our normal things. We would go to the clubs, to the pubs, and just play pool, make money. We would even start selling mitumba, second-hand clothes, and for us to have some extra coin for ourselves, so that when we go back to school, we have enough stock of every other illicit drug. I remember it's while during this time that we thought to ourselves, like, there's this piece of land, my dad's piece of land here, and there's nothing much happening there. So and those who would sell particularly weed or bang or marijuana didn't sell, let me call it, didn't sell quality weed. They didn't prepare it well for use. So we thought, in Swahili they say mangibichi. They sold to us mangibichi, and so we thought, why can't we do it for ourselves? I mean, we can use this piece of land, plant, and so I went ahead and planted weed in my dad's piece of land, and so for us to get the best quality, so this is how serious it got, my viewer. Like, it reaches a point where as now you want to produce for yourself and get enough stock for yourself. That is how bad this got to. So we went ahead and did all these, and I remember we harvested, and I would still sell some to other people who, of course, in school. I would gather some and I would sell to other students. And so it's unfortunate that I introduced this behavior to many other students. I really pray that God forgives me, but I know He's a faithful God. I am only sad that I introduced this behavior to many other students, and some are stuck into it to date, many years down the line. I really pray that God will help them, get out, even though it's me who, introduced them to this. So now, as we get back to school, of course, we make sure that we have these suspensions, these breaks of suspensions, and it happened that finally I was expelled again, and now this time not expulsion, but it came in the form of a suspension, and I decided I'm not gonna go back to that school, because I remember it was a fight between me and the principal, not the principal, but the senior teacher. And so I thought, going back to school, this would mean I would be victimized a lot by the teachers. So I decided I'm not going back to that school. So yes, I'm now moving from a third school. Of course, do not know whether I'll be accepted in a fourth school, because I just have a bad report, and so I got myself the fourth school. While in the fourth school, it didn't last long. I remember I was there for only 2 weeks, and I moved out. My viewer, all this is happening because of indiscipline cases. I have become bad boy. I cause mayhem. I cause damage wherever I go. It's like I was born with this. I don't see it then. I didn't see it then. But today I look back and I'm like, why did I do all this? Why all these kind of episodes? And unfortunately, just bad things happening to me. I really pray, I do not know, but I really pray, you who is going through who's going through the same, I really pray that you find hope, because I look back today and I realize it was a lot of stupidity. It was a lot of, there was so much stupidity in me. I was so stupid. But I'm not saying you're stupid, no. I really pray that you will one day get out of this and stand on this other side and look where you have come from, and you will tell yourself whether you're stupid or not. But I know it wasn't. Today I look back and I'm like, if I'm given an opportunity to go back to where I was, then I would do better. I would shun all this. So yeah, I'm now moving into fifth school, and it was just worse and worse. It got worse and worse. But my viewer, finally, I want to tell you my journey in high school. You know, I went through all these five schools, and finally, when I got into my fourth school, unfortunately, they could not suspend, they could not expel me anymore. I would not be chased away from school because we have just registered for national exams at Form 4, and therefore the only thing is that the max they can do is to suspend you. But you're rest assured that you will sit for your national exams in this school. And so I did lots and lots of worse things. I remember one of those bad things I did while in my last high school is that I didn't do it, but we went clubbing in the night. We had sneaked out of school over on Friday, and so through the weekend. And I remember we went to Kisii County. Yes, remember my schools. I have schooled all these four schools apart from the one in Mombasa. All these four schools are within Migori County. So Kisii County is bordering Migori County. So we go clubbing in Kisii, and one of the worst things happened. I remember we were a gang of 6, and one of us who was like he was the biggest in terms of his body, and he was like our bouncer. So we knew every other time we went out, we would, tag along with him. We were sure that nothing bad would happen to us. Because some of us were good in martial arts, taekwondo, karate, name it. And so this gang member of ours is a weightlifter, and so we are guaranteed of our safety. Whichever place we go, wherever we went to, we would engage in a fight and get away with it. So I remember while in this club, we started a fight, and it was very simple and easy to start a fight. I mean, I would just, one of us would just go into a table where there's a lady seated probably, and maybe the boyfriend or the husband had stepped out maybe to the restrooms, and one of us would just start a conversation with this lady. And so when the man would come, it would be a fight, and we always wanted to fight at all times, unfortunately. So when this fight ensued, and it was too much on us because the bouncers of the club were like smarter than us. I remember our gang member, the late Vitalis, was stabbed to death. I mean, it was not the best moments for us, and we had to flee away. I mean, we left him there. He wasn't stabbed to death like death immediately. He died later at the hospital, but it wasn't a nice moment for us. But even with all this, unfortunately, we don't see it. I don't see it. With all this kind of circumstances, I don't see it. I still want to go along. I still want to do my drugs. I still want to engage in criminal behavior, and I do not know. I mean, how I wish that was my turning point. I mean, seeing your friend stabbed and bleeding on the floor, and it doesn't take more than 3 more days before you continue on with your lifestyle. That is to me the most unfortunate bit of this all. Unfortunately, my turning point did not come. So we went ahead, and finally, this was during our 3rd term, I remember, and we started our exams, and by KCC, and yes, I was here now, like, I'm done with high school, and I'm like, no more school for me. Whether I pass my exams or not, I will not join college. I will not go more than beyond this. All I want to do is I want to start fending for myself. I want to live by myself. I think and feel I'm now independent. I feel and think I'm now an adult. Now I will start controlling my own life. I will no longer live with my parents. These are the kind of thoughts now I'm entertaining in my mind. Like, they wanted me to go to school. I have gone to school. I'm done with KCC. Remember, we don't even have the results out. We just cleared, and I'm already planning on how life can start now. So yes, my viewer, as I mentioned this, I want to remind you that in all this, I look back, I see some power of darkness. I see the enemy at war. I mean, I see me being the battlefield, me being the grass, but there are people fighting. And I didn't realize that. But today I thank God that I'm mature enough to know that the enemy had seen. The enemy here is the Satan. And I mean, I will be very straight to this. It is the devil who does bad things to God's children. The devil always wants to steal, he wants to destroy, he wants to kill. I mean, so that is his main objective, that is the main purpose. So he probably saw something good in me, and he only wants to kill that. And little did I know today, that I'll be a preacher, who I am today. So I thank God that yes, it wasn't an easy battle, but finally God won. It was not very easy. So stay tuned. We will be moving into our 4th episode, and God willing, in the 5th episode. And by the way, I'm promising you that we will very soon have a psychiatrist come on board and talk to us and tell us how drugs affect the brain. Because yes, we know that it's a disease now. It's a disease, but how does it affect the brain? That I do not know much. There's a psychiatrist who will share with us and tell us how drugs affect the brain. God bless you, and keep it here. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. And if you don't mind, you can share this to your other contacts so that someone can learn something out of my story and out of all these topic addiction. God bless you.